Hello, everyone. Welcome to Relate to You. We are so excited that today we have two cast members of UNFC. We have Lito and Danny Darko, and we are so excited to have them here. So, let's do a little yay!
Yay! What's up, guys?
And so we have a bunch of fun questions.
Yes.
And so stick around for this cool episode.
Yes. I mean, first of all, we would like to mention that one of the reasons why this is such a good episode for us is because we, as mentioned already in I don't know which episode is going to come out, but as mentioned before, we are like siblings. We are podcast siblings.
Yeah.
You know, we are a sister to UNFC. So in many ways, this is a collab that a lot of people were waiting for. I know. I was told.
Yeah.
So thank you guys for being here with us. Of course, our podcast is a little bit different than your guys's. We want a little bit of structure. We want a little bit of topics.
Control.
But, control. But we also want to, get to know you guys and ask you questions about you guys. Not so much your podcast, but you guys. So I think this is relating to your podcast. So the first question is, why are you Lito and why are you
Danny Darko?
Danny Darko.
Oh, well, first off, thanks for inviting us on your podcast.
Huge honor.
Yeah, huge honor. We appreciate it. Why Lito and why Donnie? We just thought maybe it would be kind of cool to have nicknames for each other on the podcast.
Okay.
And my name came from my childhood nickname that they would call me. So they would call me Juelito. So I just removed Joel out of it and just put Lito.
Just got the suffix of it.
Yeah.
Got it.
Lito. Yeah.
And why Danny Darko? Are you
Well, it's actually
dark?
it's Donnie.
It's
Darko.
Donnie.
Donnie?
So
Oh.
Joel had for the longest time, he had a very tough time saying Danny.
Oh,
Wait,
No,
really?
no,
When
that's
he
not
was
true.
young?
This is not true. This is not
Every
true.
time he would say Danny, it would sound more Donnie.
No,
It sounded
no,
like-
this is not true. This is not true. What it was, it's
It's
so
kind of
it's
true.
true.
What is going on?
It's a little
No,
true.
no.
Anyways, eventually, he got more accepting of it saying
No,
Donnie.
this is not
Wait,
true.
what?
This is
You
not
know,
true.
you started
I was gonna play along with it, but no.
You started going a little more with it,
I
and-
watched a movie called Donnie Darko, and it's an old movie. It's kind of like a scary movie, and I thought it was cool. And then ever since then, I started calling Danny. Before I used to call him Donut, but I stopped calling him Donut.
all our family.
Oh yeah, everybody called him Donut.
I think Sarah came up with it.
Yeah, Sarah.
Donut. I've never heard it really. Well, probably
No,
growing
because
up.
it was a while
Yeah.
ago. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Everybody would call him Donut,
Danny Dona.
Donnie Donut, or
And I was
or
also
just-
shaped like a donut.
or
so.
Donut in general.
Could that have anything to
And
do?
I
It might-
started
it
calling
might,
him
yeah.
Donnie, and eventually I started calling him Donnie Darko, and then I used that on the podcast as well.
Got it.
Okay.
So that's
have
why.
you seen this movie?
Donnie Darko? No, I've never seen it. No.
Oh, so you just ran
I
with
just
it.
roll with the poachers. Yeah, I just roll with them.
Got
Okay.
it. Okay.
Yeah.
Very good. Well,
Did I watch it? Is it actually a good movie?
What's that guy that came out on Southpaw, The Covenant? Jake Gyllenhaal.
Michael B.
No,
Jordan.
not Jake.
he did not
no.
come out in the Covenant.
I'm just throwing names out there.
I'm so shocked you know these movies.
He's the guy. He's got he came out in the Prada commercial recently.
Prada?
Yeah, he's
Mention another movie he came out in.
Brokeback Mountain.
Oh,
Oh, Jake Gyllenhaal?
Yeah, Jake Gyllenhaal. Yeah,
Wait, you said Jake Gyllenhaal already.
I thought for some reason I was thinking that was the same guy that.
Wait,
from the
what?
Notebook.
did you get the movie so quick?
Because of the memes. I've never seen the movie.
I was trying not to say
I've
that
never
movie.
seen the movie, but I've seen
Brokeback?
October Sky.
Oh my God!
What is
Donnie
it?
I've never
and
seen
Brian
it, but I
Hill.
know that it's
No,
Heath Ledger
I've never seen it.
and it's Jake Gyllenhaal. Everybody
Well,
knows
actually,
that.
I've never seen it either, but it is
a-
a.
Can
I
go?
know it's a
Yeah.
movie when they get together.
I mean,
So, it's one of
That's
those.
it.
I honestly don't know.
I always see the
It's a movie
memes.
where they go camping a lot.
Okay.
And a lot
A
of.
lot. Okay.
I've never actually seen it,
Alright.
but I heard
So
they
we
go
all have
camping.
never seen
We've
it.
never seen it, but
It's
we
two
all
cowboys
know.
that go
well,
I
camping.
don't. Well,
You don't know.
Apparently, I didn't know about
You
it.
don't know.
Two
but-
cowboys go camping in the mountains.
Wait, you've actually never heard of Brokeback
No, I've
Mountain?
never heard of it.
Really?
I promise you. I promise.
I don't believe you because
I
for
promise
years
you.
you told me you were colorblind and you weren't.
Oh!
Dang.
Yeah, that's true.
So we don't know.
But no, I still have never seen the movie
well,
or heard of it.
wait,
or
what was
even
the
heard of
point of
movie.
that?
That Like he's the
actor.
main character.
Oh,
Donnie
Jake
Darko.
Gyllenhaal is the main actor of
And
Donnie
Donnie-
Darko.
Donnie
Got
Darko.
Is
it,
he Donnie
got it.
Darko?
He is Donnie Darko.
So in a sense, this whole time you've seen me as Jake Gyllenhaal.
Oh.
I respect that.
He dies at the end of the movie.
He's
But
from
yeah,
Love and Other Drugs.
Okay.
October Sky.
Right.
Okay.
See, I didn't know those movies.
I know Spider-Man No Way Home.
He comes out in it.
Oh yeah,
Far
he-
From
That's
Home.
right.
Far
He
From
does,
Home.
he
He's
does come
Mysterio.
out
From
in
Home.
it.
Yeah.
At first I thought you
Mysterio.
were joking. I was like, Spider-Man. That's
Yeah.
Tobey
Yeah,
Maguire. But
he's
no,
Mysterio.
right.
Mysterio.
Yeah.
Okay.
I should have said that.
Yeah, we could sit down.
Yeah.
So that's how you guys got your names.
Yes.
Why UNFC?
I think this goes back to that one day that we were at Denny's coming up with the podcast in the first day. What?
I don't know anything about Denny's. What do you mean? You mean that the first podcast?
The first episode? The pilot?
Well, yeah, but why UNFC? Because we originally it was called Unforgettable
That's why.
Conversations.
It goes back to
But
Denny's.
why
when
UNFC?
we were at Denny's.
I'm aware of Denny's. Yes, it's a
Yes,
restaurant.
and that's
It's
what-
almost like
it's-
they're not connected. What's
Okay.
going on?
You know what?
I'm asking.
We
like,
were at Denny's and we started creating the idea of a podcast, but we wanted to make it as unique as possible, but still have some, I guess you could say, a decent name to it where we can shorten it up.
Oh,
so
I
we
see.
thought
Like an acronym.
Unforgettable, because at one point we were thinking Infamous podcast or something like that.
I never thought of that.
I thought about it. I just never told anybody. And then we got to Unforgettable podcast,
Conversation.
Unforgettable
God.
Conversations
Okay.
podcast.
So why UNFC?
I just answered that.
No, deeper. Like why?
No, the
why
actual,
a podcast?
those actual letters. Like why
Because
UNFC?
Oh,
Isn't it
like
UNF?
UNFC,
UNF is
Unforgettable.
unforgettable, and then C is conversation.
But why
Conversations.
not UFC? Like
Because
unforgettable.
UFC is
UFC's
fighting.
a fighting thing. So if you search YouTube UFC,
They're gonna pop up.
so
They're
you
gonna
were
pop
probably
up.
working with the YouTube algorithm. Is that what you're saying?
yeah,
Yeah,
because you
okay.
look up UNFC, there
The
was like this
fish-
weird chemical formula.
I've seen a
that's-
couple of those videos. They're good.
It's just some guy talking about like different like
I know.
But they're that good.
yeah.
They're good.
But so
'Cause I
okay,
thought they were part of it.
algorithm and unforgettable.
So now, if
conversations.
anybody goes in and types in UNFC, we're the only thing that pops up.
Oh, okay.
okay,
There's
okay,
nothing
Very
else.
smart.
Sure?
All right. Perfect.
you guys branded yourself.
I saw a couple of those videos, the chemical videos.
Yeah, but now there's so many of videos that are from UNFC that it
overpowers the
overpowers the
algorithm.
other
Yeah.
the other channels.
Just to check, what's her name?
Relate to you.
There you go.
Relate.
We're,
You guys
we're-
paused
We're
too
still
long.
in. We're still in one mind
Yes. Relate to you. Why relate to you?
because we want to relate to people.
Exactly.
But why?
See, that was
The
easy.
two.
That was a very simple mission statement.
Because
No,
it
don't
just
look.
flows on Instagram.
Chemical.
No,
Oh, see, look,
honestly,
like, that's the chemical thing that
Look,
pops up.
and you can see I've already seen a bit of it.
You actually looking it up?
Yeah.
okay. So you pretty much brought this idea together, but like, why did you want to do a podcast? Like, of all things, why a podcast? Because
Well,
I don't know if you guys know this, we would not be here if it wasn't for these guys starting their podcast. So I have to ask, why did you start a podcast?
well, we weren't really using the room originally, and I wanted to create the podcast for you so you can have a platform to be able to like have whatever you wanted to do.
Isn't that the sweetest thing?
For me, who I'm just a host
You.
today.
You're my wife too.
Oh, I am. Okay,
Isn't that the sweetest thing,
You guys
guys?
are married?
just
Yeah. Yeah, they are. Isn't that the sweetest thing? He wanted her to start a podcast.
And then I
He
just
wanted-
bandwagoned on there.
Yes, he wanted
And then
her
he
to
took
have
the
something.
idea and you ran with it.
Yeah,
By the way, what happened to the desk I gave you?
we
You
threw
gave
it
me that-
away.
Oh,
I gave you a black.
that wasn't your desk. I paid
get-
for it.
Uh-uh.
You broke your desk.
No,
My
sir.
dad broke your desk.
Mm-mm. Oh, I gave it to my dad.
Yeah, and he
That's
broke
right.
it.
Yeah,
Remember?
But then I gave it to you, no?
Why would you give me a broken desk? Why are we
Extra
talking?
parts.
See, this is what he does. He does this on my podcast too. Don't interrupt their podcast.
Control.
Do you hear that?
Control,
So why
control.
did you start the podcast? Yes, you mentioned initially the room wasn't being used, but
The room wasn't being used.
What took it from okay? I, want
wanted
this
you
for
to
her.
use it to have a platform. But for myself, I saw it as an opportunity to get over a fear of of public speaking, and I thought this would be a great way to just practice. And I started it with the guys thinking like, yeah, we have dumb conversations, forgettable or unforgettable. I'm not gonna start that again. And
I'd love to dive.
no. So I was like, okay, well, this is a perfect opportunity for me to use this and bring my friends to actually all hang out because I don't spend so much time with them. So I was like, okay, if I get to hang out with my friends and overcome a fear, and it becomes something that all that would be pretty cool. So
it was a win-win situation.
Win.
Beautiful, beautiful. And speaking of friends, would you say you are friends with Danny, even though you guys are
No.
Oh,
We're coworkers.
Oh, that's it.
Like you two.
We clock in, we clock out. That's it. Yeah.
No, we're not coworkers no more.
Oh.
We're business partners.
Oh, so are we?
Oh. I don't see any of the cut.
Yeah, that's true. We're more like boss employee.
Oh.
I'm just kidding.
Dang.
No,
And I'm just always available, you know.
you're that employee.
I'm not
You're
employee.
that
I'm
employee.
employee.
You're
I've been employee
reliable.
of the month for like the last
Yeah.
year.
No, yeah, like I've said before, Danny is the salt of the podcast. He brings like the best parts out of the podcast, and the day that we get paid is the day Danny's getting a portion of the cut.
Question: do you say this because he's your brother?
No, because I've
Oh.
done. No, I was gonna say because we've done
There's a word for
business
that.
ventures before, and we've always kind of
barely
like partners.
ventured.
I'm asking because, like, do you feel that he brings out the best out of everyone because that's what he's done in your life? Because, like, in a sense, like, no offense to Danny, but why wouldn't anybody else be the salt? Why Danny?
Well, Danny definitely brings out the salt, and I think it's his character, and I do think that other people bring a value to the podcast, but Danny brings it at such a high level that they don't compete.
I think what you're trying to ask is if Danny is that at home too.
Yeah.
We don't live together.
Like in your
while
family,
growing up.
would you say Danny brings out the salt in the family?
Well, I've never seen him that way, but
Really?
It's so funny because the reason why I'm asking all of this is because I think it's easier for him to talk about him in an emotional way in a podcast setting, but not in a family setting.
Oh.
Ah.
wait, what? Say that again.
You just reeled you in. Real quick, what's that word that like people get special treatment for being family?
Nepotism.
Nepotism.
What's nepotism?
Nepotism.
I'm nepotism.
You're
No, okay, so
nepotizing.
like
I'm
initially
I
it's
nepotized
like,
you?
you know, because I could sit here and I could be like, oh, Lula, you know, brings out the best in the podcast and, you know, blah, 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 which I do feel that a lot of our popularity comes from Lula. But we're not siblings. We're not blood related. We are friends, you know? But you have a deeper connection as a brother. And so is this something that you see in him as far as like, he doesn't just bring out the best in this podcast setting that's fun. He does this in life.
Do you guys have the same blood type though?
I don't know my blood type.
Oh.
I would say yeah.
It took you that long to say it.
I don't know what you're asking.
No, I was just asking if like he's
Oh,
the
I
salt
guess-
in the family.
Yeah, exactly. Well, we're asking if
Yeah, he's salty.
the Danny we see in
Am I
the
salty in the
podcast is
family?
the Danny
Yeah,
we
the salty
see.
one.
Super salty in the
Super
family.
salty.
All right.
I guess so. Salty.
The saltiest.
Salty.
Now, was this like the UNFC? Was this something that you have planned with other people? Like, is this something that you guys talked with other people, or was this more your brainchild?
Well, I did kind of like plan it with everybody else, and by everybody else, I mean really Danny, Alex, and a little bit of James in the beginning. But I think when it came down to like, okay, let's hunker down and like let's figure out like the logistics of how to do it, I think that was all me. Because I did a lot of the research and
And that is
Not
why
saying-
you don't see a cut.
yeah, and then same thing with the equipment. I never wanted to have them feel like they're obligated to give me money to purchase the next microphone, the next camera, the next stuff. It's like we'll get there when we get there, but it's gonna be at my pace because it's like the money's coming out of my pocket.
Right,
So if I can't afford the next camera, it's gonna be a while till we get the next camera.
You mentioned earlier that the reason why you did this was partly to overcome a fear of speaking in public. Do you think that the Joel that you grew up with, would you have seen this version of him doing this?
As far as public speaking,
as far as not just public speaking, but like even doing something creatively in this way, like is that something
well,
that
I've
you
always seen Joel, like he has his creative like private things. Like he was always like, he loved drawing, and he was always really good at drawing. He's always had that, like, I don't want to say like OCD, but he's always been like very like intricate about like things a certain way and stuff like that. So I saw that growing up. So like seeing this, like, and whenever it came to something, like whether it was work, whether it was a goal or something, he always went like head first. Like if he set a goal, he was going to meet it. Always, always, always. So I knew like when he was, serious about this, I knew obviously knowing Joel, he's going to go through it with all of it. And if he fails, but that's fine. At least he knows he gave everything he got. So as far as, I didn't know it. Public speaking was like one of his like fears, like until he eventually said it. But, yeah, no, I've always seen him like whenever he puts his head towards something, like he'll go out and get it, or like until something has to stop him. Mm-hmm. Like something has to stop him that's greater than his will to get through it.
What about for you? Did you ever feel like embarrassed to speak up?
No, in fact, the embarrassing part of me, I know like I can be embarrassing sometimes, and like I'm fine with that. I love being like, I love cracking a joke or like throwing curveballs like I always do, just to make people laugh, because I feel like what I bring to the world is I like to make people smile. I like to, I like to make people happy. I like to, I'm a very people pleasing kind of person. So even the little things in life, it's enough for me.
Right. Okay.
That's salt. That's the salt that I'm talking about.
So
I think that was kind of sweet.
Aww, Danny.
Aww. It's sugar this entire time. You're the sugar on the cake.
Okay, very good. So, well, since there's been a lot of banter as siblings, I want to ask, is there something embarrassing that happened to you guys, whether when you guys were children or now that you guys are grown up, but just specifically to you both?
Embarrassing?
Yeah.
At the same time, like something.
Yeah. You both experienced it at the same time, and it was embarrassing for both. Perhaps at different levels, because, like you said, not a lot of things embarrass you.
Yeah.
But,
no, I can be very embarrassing. Like I know, like my whole life is like embarrassing.
I've had this shame.
I just break down, start crying.
Yeah.
No, I just think like it's like whenever like obviously like Lula, there's a bunch of embarrassing stories that I feel you like I'm that person that like everything gets thrown at me and it's like, oh my gosh. Like I'm the one that gets left at church, like while the rest of my family is 15 minutes away at home, or I'm the one that I don't know. I just feel like I get those embarrassing stories a lot too. I'm blanking out. Oh, when I was a kid, I think we talked about this in the other podcast, but I know like, so as far as embarrassing stories, is it that include both of us or just like us?
It could be you.
It could be you.
Like one that I love telling is one that I don't remember, but my mom always says that, and they say like, oh yeah, it happened. But I don't remember a lot of them actually. But there was one time where I was young. I must have been like 5 years old or something like that. And we were really close to our neighbors. Mm-hmm. At the time we lived in the projects, and we were super close to our neighbors and everything. And apparently what I would do throughout the day is I would eat at home, cool, whatever. But then I would go into the neighbor's house. Like we were cool like that. Like I guess I could just go in, just barge the door and open and just go in. And I would go and ravage their whole refrigerator. Ooh. And just start eating their stuff. Not even making eye contact with them. Not even saying hi, not even anything like that. Just going in, just boom.
See what they got in their fridge.
See what they got, like if I'm window shopping or anything, but I wouldn't window shop. I'd actually just grab it. And yeah, I'd eat up, and they would notice this. And I guess a couple months went by, and they had to talk with my parents. And they were like, "Do you guys not feed this guy?" Of course they fed me. I mean, look at me, like I was a bowling ball.
Oh,
and yeah, so eventually, I guess that's what that happened.
Do you remember this?
I do. Yeah, they would be like sitting on the couch watching TV, and then Danny rolls in, and he goes straight to their fridge, grabs some stuff, and then we'll either go through the backyard or through the front door and back to our house.
And he's in his zone.
He's in his own.
Could it be that it had a lot to do with the fact that, like you said, you guys were so close that you didn't think twice? Like, these are family.
I guess.
Yeah, like they would babysit us. We would babysit, or technically my parents would babysit their kids. So we were literally around the same age. They had 2 kids, and then there was like 4 of us. But their 2 kids were like me and Danny's age.
Yeah.
So we were very, very young.
Yeah.
So this is not like teenage Danny. This is like, he must have been like, what?
I was like
max
5, 6,
like 5, 6,
7, whatever.
Not even 7.
But
I think it was like
yeah,
5.
younger.
But you have no recollection of this.
No, I wish I did. Like, that would make it so much funnier because like I could give more details and stuff. Like, oh, I remember that night. You know.
Well,
like,
one of the biggest things was one time we were going to church and he had gone over and we forgot him because they went into the house and they're like, okay, everyone's in the car already. Close the door and everything. Get to church in Santa Paula. We live in Ventura.
Yeah, this is about a 15, maybe more, 20-minute drive.
No, that's definitely like a 20, 30
20,
minute
30
drive.
minutes. Oh, okay.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah. You know what? That makes more sense. Yeah.
We're in Santa Paula.
Yeah.
We get to church. Danny's not in the car. For some reason, no one remembered that he was supposed to be in the car.
Yeah.
Aw.
And he sits next to me, and then for some reason they asked me, they're like, "Where's Danny?" And I was like, "He's not up there with you." I thought he was up there for some reason. He had gone over to the other house to eat.
Oh.
After he finished eating,
Yeah.
he came back. The door was locked. We were gone.
Early Sunday
He
morning,
was
I had to
banging
get
on the
breakfast.
door, and he started crying because
Oh, Danny.
he was
Yeah.
left behind.
Oh.
Yeah.
Por glotón. Oh, my goodness.
I don't even know what that means, but
I
that
don't
sounds
Gluttony.
hilarious. Oh, glutton.
Gluttony. I don't
You
know.
glutton.
Dame un bolillo.
Oh.
Oh, wow. Okay. What about something that happened to maybe as a...
To me?
I don't know if it's a family, but...
As a family,
Well, okay.
I don't think I really have.
Was there
anything.
ever a time that obviously you fought with Danny, but that you pranked him or did something to
Oh,
him?
yeah,
when
I
he
would
was
prank
a
Danny all the
kid?
time. But for embarrassing, I mean, the only embarrassing story I have is like that one time that I was going to go to give offering and I tripped and for some reason my body reacted and I decided to roll with it. So as I was going, this was a Sadako church and I was way open.
yeah.
I'm like 17 at
Yeah.
this age.
Sadako is
You're cool at
So
that point.
everybody is going to go put.
there's only one aisle.
There's one aisle. You go and you put your money in the basket and then go back to sit down. I'm going over there and I trip and they're like, everyone's singing. Everyone's like, yeah,
Music stuff.
music's going. I trip. I decide in my head, my body just reacts like
Roll.
front flip,
Just roll
roll.
with it.
I roll and I do a full on front flip. And I put my money in the basket once I got up and
God.
walked away. And I was just like, I'm not going back inside. Like, that was the worst thing
Did anybody
ever.
react?
Everyone saw. Some people were like, he's excited to give his money. But
You did a somersault.
yeah, I practically did a somersault forward and then gave my money and walked away
At
very
least you gave
awkwardly.
your money, man. You could have been just like, I'm not even gonna do the last.
Take the bucket and run.
Take the bucket.
But yeah. But what was the other
Was there
question?
ever like
There was ever-
like a prank that you did on Danny?
I did one prank that to this day I almost regret because I scared Danny pretty bad.
But here's the thing. I still don't remember that.
You don't remember this?
Well, I remember him doing it. I don't remember me being as scared as he said I was.
okay.
Okay, maybe it was like I knew what I was doing, so I think that's maybe what made it seem like it was worse.
Oh,
Like it was
maybe.
bad.
But then you were on the
so-
phone with my mom too, so that was kind of like. So there was I would always scare him at night, and one day after coming from work, I would take the bus and like I got off the bus, finally got home, noticed that no one was home, and I was like, oh, that's weird, but the lights are on, so someone's home, and I saw Danny in the kitchen. And so I saw him by the kitchen window, and I saw him go back into the living room. And I noticed like no one's home, no one's cars are home, so everyone's still out, and Danny's by himself. So I was like, okay, it's a perfect time to make a prank. And I was like trying to think like, what would be the perfect prank? Like, how could I just jump scare him? Like, if he comes into the kitchen, I could be like, through the window and scare him. But in my head, I was like, no, we got to go further this time. Psychological.
Yeah.
So I
Premeditated.
decided to do as I'm walking up to the house, I decided to do a fake home invasion. And so first it started with some like knocks on the door, some light knocks on the door. Danny would come, kind of look through the window, nothing. And then I started knocking harder. He would come. I would be hiding in like the bushes. He'd lock the door, and I'd go into the backyard, try to like open the back door, and like towards the end, I was like messing with everything. I actually was able to find where the breaker was at on the outside and turn off all the lights. And then I found these pieces of wood that my dad had in the backyard that were like perfect size to make it seem like I was lugging them on top of the roof and making it seem like there was wood like steps on the roof.
Wait, how old were you?
Somehow he must have been in middle school.
Right, middle school.
Middle
Yeah.
school.
Okay.
Goodness.
So now this fake home invasion person is on top of the roof. The lights are no longer turning on. No one's home, no one's in. None like an adult is home, and now someone came in through the window, aka me. And I'm hiding.
because through the bedroom window.
No, I ended up
Which
going
window?
through the kitchen window, or the dining room window,
I remember. I think
because I had to get like on the chair and everything.
I kind of remember the bedroom window being open.
Well, I opened that one too.
Oh, but you didn't go through. So
No,
I remember
no.
that one being open and the curtains being wide open. I'm like, dude, like he's predictable. Like he wants me to like go close it or something. And so like I would go, and I don't know. Okay, maybe I was a little scared because I remember getting closer and closer, and I was like trying to anticipate the jump scare. And like I remember me trying to like to try to like reverse it. Like I would
Throw something.
throw something out. I think I threw a pillow outside the window, and nothing. I was like, oh man. And I think that's when you hit the breaker. And I was like, so I closed the window and like I locked it, and then I remember that part. I remember that.
But yeah, I was like towards the end. I was like, he locked himself in the room, and I was like opening and banging doors and making it seem like I was getting closer and closer to him. And then towards the end, I just hear him crying on the phone with my mom, saying like, "You need to come home." And I was just like,
I think
You didn't know it was him.
I think I knew it was Joel because I was like yelling like, Joel, I know it's you, and stuff. But I think I just wanted him to stop.
So then I knock on his door. I'm like, "Danny, it's just me. Don't cry." And yeah,
Did you hug him at least?
no.
No, he never.
You're
hugged
just
me.
like, stop. The way you said that with this, like, no, he never hugged me.
No, yeah. Then I was like, after that, I didn't really prank him that much. Afterwards,
Yeah, you
No.
stopped.
I was like, home invasion's far enough.
But you know what? It's kind of funny. You know, you do go far, so it makes sense that like you. It's
I'm
like
the way that I am.
you.
It
No,
makes
but
sense.
it's like you did one prank with me, and that was it. And in a sense,
What
you
was the
said
prank?
you did one prank with Danny, and then after that, you kind of stopped pranking.
Well, yeah, because I mean, you see them and they're like, "You won."
Oh.
Dang! He's like, you see them and you won.
Yeah,
Dang, that's cool.
I guess.
That's cool. But so,
But I don't like pranks. I don't like
which is what sucks because he's pranked me before, and
You've pranked me too.
I've pranked him good too, but he can't just take the loss.
Yeah.
It's like I'm gonna make it better. Like I'm
He needs
gonna
to get you back.
get you so bad,
Yeah.
and with that's why we don't do it because I can't take it. I will cry. I will
Cry, and
legit
then
cry.
I will be like, "Oh, that's no fun."
One
anymore."
time I don't even know how he did it. I had pranked him I had pranked him in the shower, and he didn't know I was in the restroom.
Okay, that was creepy.
He didn't know I was in the restroom. I didn't make a sound. I was so
Let me describe it real quick. So you know the like when you're putting shampoo on your head, and you know you have that
you can't-
fear of
you
like
can't-
I can't close my eyes. So
Well, I don't have that fear, but it's just you can't close your eyes.
the average person, I don't know if you've ever done it, where it's like you're like something might happen if you like.
I
close
don't
your
have that
eyes.
fear.
You know,
I get
actually,
what you're
I
saying.
did kind of have that fear. I was, well, never mind.
So like you're doing your shampoo and the shampoo starts rolling down and you don't want to open your eyes because it's obviously gonna get in your eyes.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay, close your eyes. And I have the door closed, everything. She's not even home from
Work.
me knowing that she's home. So I'm over here like this, and then like I open my eyes and it's just like, have you ever seen The Grudge?
my face.
it's just her. She has her hair almost covered and just like her eye, and she's like this, and I'm like, I got scared.
I literally quietly creeped up to our like glass door shower, and he's literally taking a shower, and I'm just literally like, I'm gonna scare him and just stay still. Oh
was the
my god, he
creepiest
literally
thing
was like,
ever.
whoa, you know, and he doesn't react, like he doesn't scream or anything, and I loved it. Like it was an amazing
she
feeling,
ate it
but
up.
he got me so bad.
And that's where you broke.
Wait, what?
Remember, you were like a wolf, because I was. It was all dark in the room. I was on my phone, screen.
Oh no! Okay,
I don't know how, from the bed.
no.
He was next to me. I didn't notice. He crawled out of the bed. Literally.
I did not crawl
Around the
I did
bed.
not crawl. This was like a situation that I've done with you before, where I just when I was with her, I got up and I was like, I gotta go to the bathroom, but she had like her headphones on. She had
I was
her
in my
phone,
zone.
and it was dark. So I go turn on the light for the bathroom, go to the bathroom, flush, wash my hands and everything, close the door. I'm like walking, and I notice that she's still not looking at me. So I'm like, I literally just standing right there, and then I just get close to her, and I'm like,
Didn't you crawl?
no.
I thought you crawled. You were on the floor.
I just got close because like the
And he
bed is
did
a little
this.
lower. So I'm like,
To
And I
me,
got her.
on the side, like I literally just like I saw. I
And
feel
it's-
like you
it's dark in the room.
screamed or you did something, like you went, "Ugh," like you did
no, I
something
just
like
went
that,
like,
and I bursted into.
She
I
bursted in
bursted
tears.
into tears.
Oh my.
I
she
was
said
like,
she said I look like it. The
he
clown.
looked like a no. You looked like a wolf.
Oh, like
he
a wolf.
looked
I was
like a
like,
wolf. I was like, oh my god, and I burst. I was like, never again.
I literally was just like coming out of the bathroom like
This is a chance.
just to joke around, and then she's just like she starts crying, and I'm like, oh.
I've scared you too.
You have, but I'm easily.
Anything scares
Yeah.
you.
I don't like scary like movies and stuff.
I actually
Really?
like scary movies.
Yeah.
I feel like you guys would have watched a lot of horror.
I could
films.
take. I mean, when I was like 11 years old, I saw was it The Grudge? I think it was The Grudge.
Or The Hills Have Eyes.
But it
that
was
one
like-
was a scary movie.
I think the way I interpret like scary, like in order for me to like counter it, like I'll try to like
Make
make
it
it funny.
Yeah.
I'll make it funny so it's like I can cope with it
Got
in a
it.
sense. Yeah.
So you're
Oh,
more
they-
into comedy.
Rom-coms.
Oh, right.
Rom-coms.
No,
You're such a
I enjoy
liar.
rom-coms. No, I enjoy rom-coms.
He's like,
but
Hallmarks.
Comedies. Hallmarks are low-key. They can,
They're predictable, but you
they're
still want to
predictable,
watch
but
it.
it's like, it's those feel good.
I feel like I
It's
could
guilty
write. I
pleasure.
could write a Hallmark movie.
Yeah.
How predictable it is. Yeah.
But
Danny,
sometimes it's like
Danny, the city boy, goes back to his country town, Satakoy,
meet a country girl.
meets a country girl,
Mm.
high school sweetheart. He was the football. Quarterback, and she was the high school
Cheerleader.
head cheerleader.
Cheerleader.
You broke up with her because you were going to become a lawyer at the big city, and she was going to stay back to be a rancher. You come back
For the holidays.
for the holidays because it's got to be a Hallmark.
gotta
movie.
be a holiday.
It's got to be
holiday.
Christmas.
Yeah.
And then you bump into her
At church.
and you're like at church, of all places, at
Right.
church. You guys both were praying. "Oh, I need to meet someone,
Mhm.
and this Christmas you meet
her.
Her.
But there's the twist where there's the secret that
Right,
is
there needs to
revealed
be
at
some
the
drama.
end,
Yeah.
where he's coming because corporate is trying to close down
The
some-
ranch.
the ranch or something.
okay.
The
Yeah.
ranch.
And
Yeah.
they're falling in love, and then she finds out this secret, and she can't trust him anymore, and he renounces corporate,
And he
and he
decides
chooses
to
to
leave
stay
it.
at the
Yeah.
ranch.
Yes, and decides to support her
Yeah.
ranch and everything.
There you go.
Yeah.
there you go. See
And
I
it should be
told you.
called The Ranch.
the ranch without you. There you go.
What would you call it?
The Law of Love in a ranch. No, I
He's a
don't
lawyer.
know. I don't know.
I sued the cow.
So
That's the
The
name.
cow goes moo.
The cow goes.
I moo you.
I move,
I moo you.
instead of
Yeah.
I sue you.
So obviously, we've talked about, embarrassing and, pranks and stuff. But now as like an adult, are there certain goals, going back to the podcast, sorry. Are there certain goals that you have for the future as far as like, obviously it was initially to overcome some fears and, to hang out with your friends. Like now that you've been doing this for a year, both of you, what are some things that you guys see for the future?
As far as like YouTube, the platform that we use, I definitely want to try to get that silver play button. That'd be cool to be able to get to 100,000 subscribers and be able to like
In a year? What is it?
not in a year.
Well, what is? I thought that's.
Oh, by the end of the year, I want to get to 7,000, but we have to get to
no.
100,000.
How do you get that? Oh, so you just have to reach 100,000.
Oh yeah, once you reach 100,000, you pretty much
send it to you?
send it to you. So to be able to get that and to have like one of my like dreams would be like Danny poses with the thing, Alex poses with it, I pose with it, and we all pose with it, and just like post it on Instagram. That would be awesome because it's like
You
that
guys
was all of
achieved
our hard work that comes into play. Where it's not obviously hard work, but it was fun hard work that came into play, and that would be pretty awesome to reach that goal. And then long term wise, I mean, if I could find a way to like do this full time, that would be awesome. That would be ultimately.
Would you
the
stay
goal.
with the kids?
I'd be a good.
Oh, those kids would be
husband.
the photographer.
Who do you think is gonna be recording?
There's the
Yeah,
little
maybe
producer.
recording.
There's the little
Baby
video
producer,
editor.
video editor.
Sound.
That guy just does all the lighting.
Which baby you thought was gonna do the whole baby in the dark?
Which
thing?
what?
What baby do you think was gonna do the whole baby in the dark situation?
I don't know.
You know what we were talking earlier?
Punch a baby in the dark.
Punch a baby in the dark.
Yeah.
No, but speaking of your podcast, is there a time where you guys it got? Because I know it's happened to us, but has it ever happened to you guys, since it's so random, that you guys said something that it was, man,
I regret.
I regret that, and maybe about each other, maybe about someone else, and how did you guys resolve that?
I don't think we really had that.
You're like, we have no
do you think?
regrets.
I think when you learn, I guess me, I'll try to adapt to people, adapt to like their humor, adapt to like their, sense of humor and all that stuff. What they like and what they don't like. Like I know it, like with Eli, like I know Eli very well. So I like, if you saw on the podcast, I could bash on him and he'll throw punches at me.
He's cool, yeah.
We could do that. With other people, like you maybe can't do that,
Yeah, that's
so
true.
it's learning like what buttons you can push, what buttons you can't push.
Has it
and
ever been
things like that.
recorded though?
Yeah.
It has.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Where it's like there was moments where someone did something and it wasn't taken in like a comedic
best
way.
way.
It was
Right,
taken in a like
It's like, oh,
offense. Yeah, like they got
Yeah.
offended off of
Yeah.
it. But other than that, I mean, the closest thing that we've ever had to like stop a video is, I think, on our 1 year mark.
Yeah.
We had a
1 year
podcast that for some reason we never had to edit like a video out or crop it out or anything majorly. That it was that video that it was just a combination of like, we didn't know what we were talking about. We were all over the place.
Everywhere.
We stopped the video, started it again, stopped it again, started it again. And towards the end, it was like, just trash everything. Like that wasn't like 2 hours that were just, it was wasted.
wasted.
Yeah, kind of.
It was a learning lesson, but at
Right.
the same time, it was like, I mean, it was bound to happen. Like
Yeah.
we went an entire year without having any issues, and now we have an issue. Like that's fine. Like I'd still take that as a win.
Definitely.
have you guys ever like gotten upset? Like, not to say that like Lula and I have gotten upset, but I think our character is very like structured, and because of that structure, we're very like, I don't know how to explain it. Like there have been times where we haven't aired an episode because we've just been like, I don't know if I feel like right about this, or we're just trying to be mindful of like what we're saying. And so we'll have those conversations of like, how do you feel, or take a week to feel about this. Like, do you guys ever have like those conversations, or you're just like, whatever rolls?
I mean, kind of like how you were saying, like you guys have it structured. We don't really have it structured, so it's open to like go whatever direction it goes.
Right.
And that kind of, I guess you could say that's the benefit of it. Where if we weren't going with the topic, which obviously we should, but if we weren't going with it and it leads to somewhere else, that's great. That's even better. And I think Danny's like, I always say that Danny like does that a lot, but I think it's also a good thing because he opens up like different channels of conversations for us.
Different
Because I
topics.
could be saying like, okay, today we're going to be talking about what makes you happy? And then Danny goes and says like,
What makes you sad?
what makes you sad? And it's like, now we start talking about things that make us sad, but it's like one of the best episodes.
Yeah.
God.
Or it's like a funny, sad episode where we're bringing up like random stuff that's happened to us that made us sad, but it's very funny in a way.
You know, that's very interesting because I feel like, I'm sorry, did I
No,
interrupt?
no, no. You
Because I think that one of the reasons why we like structure is so we know that we're not gonna, you know,
Past that.
like blurt it out in a way. Which is why a lot of the times the randomness scared us, because I feel like our most random episode we did say things that could have ruffled some feathers, and that is why I think, let's keep it to some structure, because we might say things that people might not take it in the right tone.
And one might even argue like we aren't even structured because it's not like we rehearse.
That is true.
You know, we don't have a script. We don't think of the questions prior. We should probably, but we don't. And so even in that, there is some chaos.
Mm-hmm. But I do think that you guys, because it's so random, maybe it's more lighthearted. Is that
Just
sort
go
of
with the flow.
Yeah.
But I mean, even still, even like when, like, of course, like, I don't know where I could be, like, I could just bring up a random conversation or like notice something like, oh, your shirt's gray today. Like, you usually wear a tan shirt or something like that. You know, I can say something like that. Like, I'll just notice like random little things and like just go off that. I still like structure, like, even if it's a simple outline structure, like, just like, here's some topics that we might hit, you know, stuff like that. Because at least it lets me like, okay, I think of it like a root or like, you know, a plant growing. Like, yeah, you're gonna hit these, you know, areas, but you can branch out into other areas, and who knows, maybe those will lead back into, you know, the other thing. So me personally, as random as I can be, I do like, you know, even a little sense of structure.
That is true.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's crucial.
I have a specific question. So we've talked about this on our podcast. You know, we started off as coworkers, and then we became friends, and then we started working together on something creatively. Can you share on your guys' experience working together? Because you guys have done several projects together in the past.
Oh yeah.
And how was that?
Where do you
Or
want to
rather,
start?
Well,
What
Paulo,
projects? What projects have you
so-
started or had started?
The reason I said earlier, where I was saying like the day that the podcast actually gets monetized, Danny's probably going to be one of the first persons to get paid out, is because I've worked with him before on a lot of different things. And
By the way, I would not. I can say it right now, and like even in the future, I wouldn't care for a cut. Because I know, obviously, like...
Yeah, he's made it clear.
And I just mean, like, because it's like, I see all the effort that Joel has put into this, and all I do is just show up and just entertain, in a sense. Like, I'm just being available. That's all that it is for me. And for me, it's like, it's more of an enjoyable thing, like, too. Like, it's not just like, oh, man, I have to do the podcast. Like, no, I get to do the podcast, you know?
Yeah.
So it's, you know, for me, it's just like, I'm letting him see, you know, his own dream and, like, helping him, like, get there. That's all it is.
You
Like,
see the sugar?
Yeah. Yeah.
it's very sweet.
And that's how he'll get a cut.
Yeah.
That's why you'll get a cut. What was the question again?
So what projects have you worked with?
Oh, yes, the project. Okay, so we actually started our own hand soap business
Yeah.
a while back.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that failed.
Luxury soap.
All right.
Not
Luxury.
just
It was luxury
luxury
soap.
organic
We were
soap.
dating.
Is,
I think we were just friends at the time.
Yeah, we weren't even dating
Yeah.
yet. We
we were
started
Organic.
organic.
organic
Okay.
soap.
Soap, yeah.
And believe it or not, we had products.
And I believe it was
Really?
vegan as well.
Oh yeah, it's vegan.
Vegan, yeah.
What was it made out of? Like flowers?
I think it was
Flowers?
plant based.
Skin.
It was plant based.
Yeah.
Okay.
Some plant based organic soap.
Something
They
like
weren't making this in a lab.
You know,
No, we
weren't making
didn't
it,
make it.
even.
We found a
manufacturer.
a manufacturer that made the soap for us. And we would just kind of
Slap our label on
slap
it.
our label on
Call
it
it our own.
and huh?
Slap our label on it, call it own, ship it out.
Yeah. Pretty
Why
much.
didn't it work out?
We never ordered any, did we?
Oh no, we ordered a
No,
lot.
you guys
Oh, we
did.
ordered
I got a sample. I remember.
Yeah, we had little samples.
still have
I ended up paying.
Oh, we got samples, that's right.
Yeah. I ended up paying like, I think we spent maybe like $500
Okay.
Okay.
on the startup.
Yeah.
And then we kind of noticed that it's hard to sell soap.
Yeah, a lot of people don't really care for
Luxury
Vegan
soap.
luxury.
What about now? Because I'm pretty sure this was years ago, but now that people are very into like organic and vegan and
Was it
blah,
like
blah,
2019?
blah.
2019? 2018.
No, it was-
2018. 2018.
Yeah.
So we started
when that
on
happened.
luxury soap company, and like maybe now it would probably do better, but
Yeah.
there was like we were excited to do something, but we weren't committed to do soap, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
There's just not as big of an audience for that.
and we weren't ultimately passionate about.
Yeah,
it.
we
we were
really
like,
didn't care.
oh, this would be cool if we can make money off of
it
it.
sounds easy, but
Yeah,
Sounds
let's
yeah.
take the
easy,
steps
yeah.
forward, keep doing this, blah blah blah, and then it just kind of like no.
Yeah.
But then that also created Apollo Brewing Company.
Yeah. From Apollo Luxury Soap to Apollo
Apollo.
Brewing Company.
So this was our second venture.
Yeah.
Shortly after,
Mhm.
once we realized that the soap business was not our
Yeah.
business, we had no business in that soap business.
Right.
The soap business. Apollo Brewing Company was a coffee company.
Coffee company.
And believe it or not, we had products as well.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah.
oh.
You guys, I
So-
think, had a website.
We had a website. We
Oh.
created
We
an
had a
LLC. We were
LLC,
we were close to selling
Instagram as well.
We were on Instagram.
Right.
What happened?
We had our own quotes and stuff.
We had we had quotes. I think we just kind of like there was a point where Danny just kind of told me like, just buy me out, like I'm done.
Well,
And I was like, dude,
we
what
just-
the heck? Like,
You can just leave me like
you can't
this.
just leave it like that.
Don't you ever.
No, I think with that one. Well, first off, I'm not really a coffee guy either, so it's like that should have been a
I
first red
was,
flag.
but I was.
He's a
that's-
very coffee.
yeah. So I was like,
loves coffee.
like very on
love
top of it. Did a lot of the research. Got the company to sell us wholesale coffee as well. We were gonna put our logo on it.
Yeah.
A little spaceship.
Well, and we
With a
we
little
worked
spaceship.
hard to get that logo too.
Oh yeah,
Oh, man.
we worked very hard to get the
Apollo?
logo. Apollo.
The logo that
The
we
logo.
created. Yeah, let me see if I'm pretty sure I still
What's
have
with
it.
the
Gross.
word Apollo?
I know.
Apollo?
Why Apollo?
Yeah.
It was like a weird collaboration that we came up with. I don't know exactly.
I think it just sounded cool.
sounded cool, and then the logo that we made
it-
was like
is it-
a
but-
rocket ship coming out of
We
a
made
coffee
it
cup.
into-
That's where
yeah.
I was going. Is it actually
Yeah.
because of the
Like, what was the meaning behind
the
it?
rocket ship?
Oh yeah, there's a lot of things I
we
had
had
no answers to.
we
The
had, like, a
Rocky,
lot of- we had
Apollo
like our
from the
mission
Rocky?
statement.
Yeah, we had a
it was
mission
more- It was more
statement,
like the
a
Apollo
website.
11, the rocket ship. It was
Yeah.
more like
Oh,
on
okay,
that.
It's like a rocket ship. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, this coffee is from another planet.
And there was I think
Yeah.
at one point we were trying to compete with Starbucks,
Oh.
but
Yeah.
we obviously it was just a
With our
dream.
card.
Oh, this is actually
One
really
month. That was really
nice.
cool.
Yeah.
That logo.
Yeah. We should bring him back.
No,
But this,
we have no
the
we
A
have no
is really
business.
creative.
We have no business being in the coffee business.
The A is really creative.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right?
Yeah,
It's
That's an A,
really-
yeah.
Yeah, it is an A.
and there was other ones that were
Wow.
Yeah.
that had the like logo, like the rocket ship was coming out of the coffee cup.
Yeah.
So it was cool. It was a cool idea,
Mm-hmm.
and it just never took off.
So you guys were business partners for a little bit,
The
but
spaceship crash.
some
I
of
like
you
that
guys.
joke. Yeah.
The do you remember the motto?
Oh, the motto, yeah.
Yeah, this is
That's
really
actually
nice.
really cool. I'm gonna
Motto.
put these on the video.
Prove them wrong.
Prove them wrong.
Yeah.
We wanted to prove them wrong.
We proved them right.
We proved them right. You guys were right. They were all right.
So-
we have no business being in the coffee business.
2019. Okay.
Hey, there's still time, guys. We're waiting.
So
for
that was our
Avalon.
second business.
Yeah,
And
that was
these
our
are
second
coffee.
business.
Did you guys have a third
That's-
business?
That's very interesting.
Um,
This is really
Did
cool.
we?
No, I think at that point I read a book saying that
Don't do this.
don't do
make
don't,
business-
don't start a business with your brother.
Oh, family.
Really?
Yeah, no, there's actually
in color. There's in color.
yeah. Statistically speaking, a lot of businesses fail when there's more than one partner or more than one owner.
Oh.
The A
Yeah.
is really cool.
Did you hear that part?
What? That businesses fail.
Oh, the
I wanted to see your reaction.
statistically speaking, I read a book that pretty much says that more often when there's more than one owner, the business has a tendency of failing within like the first 5 years.
Well, this is why ours would have succeeded though, because Joel's an alpha, right? Joel's that alpha. I'm okay with being the beta. Like I'm okay with like, okay, you want to be the owner? Go for it. Like I'll be the wherever you need me. I can adapt to different roles.
So you're saying it's bad when there's two alphas?
Well, yeah, I would assume that's why.
But-
because there's two owners, there's two alphas.
This is the thing. Beta fishes, when they see other betas, they fight.
What? Okay. There you go. So that, yeah,
So
but
there
that's
was no
why.
alpha.
So we were both betas.
Oh, okay.
No.
Yeah.
I just wanted
That
to
shouldn't
say.
have made me laugh, but
Yeah.
it did. Oh my god. No, okay, so I was asking this because in a similar way, you guys also became coworkers.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah,
Same thing. You know, I wasn't
think
an
that was
alpha,
probably our
like,
third venture.
Like that wasn't. I guess.
well, we left.
No, if anything, we started
failed.
it because we wanted to get out of that.
What
venture.
what did you guys do together? Where did you guys
Oh,
work?
so I was a property manager.
Property manager. I was a
Maintenance.
property
You were a property manager. I was a maintenance
Supervisor.
engineer.
Oh,
that was my
engineer, yeah.
actual title, maintenance engineer, and I was able to hire my own team. And first employee
Dun, dun, dun,
Danny.
dun.
That was Danny.
I went from
Danny.
a property manager position
to a
that I
porter.
had just left to a porter position, and just because I was just like, let's roll with it.
You
Let's do
stuck
it.
with him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's cool.
yeah.
How was it working with your older brother and vice versa?
I mean, it was fine. I think we can work
We
well.
can work well
together,
yeah.
like
you never
there was-
felt like, oh, like it's
even in the
Joel
heat of
telling me this.
situations. No, because I feel like we always had that common like ground, like we both like our things were like both like, hey, like, you know, it is what it is. We got to do it, like, you know, and like I just as much as I felt like the heat, he felt the heat in like certain situations.
Right.
Maybe I felt the heat a little more, but
Yeah, there was a couple of times where like I had to go up to bat for Danny, and the reason we ended up leaving that place is because part of it was they kind of screwed Danny over, and
So you stuck by him.
yeah, pretty much because they were supposed to give him a promotion because they promised me that I would have like I think 5 employees under me,
right.
and I only ended up having 2, which was Danny and someone below Danny, and I moved Danny up to the next position, but they never actually gave him
Compensated me for that, yeah.
pay.
Oh.
So I told Danny, I was like, dude, don't even bother doing anything else then. Like, go back to like your same position and like screw them.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
So
They're
they
not
were they were pretty much expecting him to deliver the work of that second
of a
position.
higher
Yeah.
higher
Without
pay.
the
Without getting
pay.
the
Without the pay, yeah. So I was still getting paid of the regular, like. So I was like, so the porter position, it's very easy, especially in a luxury
Apartments.
Yeah.
apartment, because it's like you're cleaning, but like, what is there to clean? Like, it's
There's not
all
much.
clean already.
It's all
like,
brand
you know,
new,
It's all
so-
brand new. It's,
Right.
You know, so it's very, very simple. Where I was supposed to go to was the maintenance technician position, which is there. It's like you're actually okay. You're fixing, you're fixing a bunch of different
Appliances that might be
appliances,
broken.
you know.
But then again, there wasn't much because everything was brand new.
Yeah,
Just small stuff.
yeah, small things here and there, but that's what. Obviously, it's a completely different role.
Definitely.
You know.
Right.
But I was still, I was still getting compensated for that. So it's like, what's the point of even doing this if I'm not gonna get, and Joel. So yeah, I was really the only maintenance technician on site because Joel was doing like you were more in the office.
I was doing
kinda,
like the office stuff,
Yeah.
but then I had to kind of jump into that role with you because
Yeah.
they still we were supposed to have like 3 techs,
Yeah.
and there was only just you,
Mhm.
and you weren't even really a tech yet because they still had you as a porter pay.
Right.
So Danny was getting the blunt force of everything. I
Yeah.
stepped in to help him out and try to put pressure on them. They gave backlash. We decided, deuces. We're leaving,
Bye.
and we left
Yeah.
ship with literally.
Felicia.
They lost half their staff, more than half their staff technically.
Yeah.
that day.
Yeah.
So they were mad about it, but we were happy we were
Yeah.
leaving that place because
You
Yeah,
guys
we
still
gave
stuck together.
our 2 weeks, and I think they let us go with
they let us go after a week.
1 week.
Yeah.
Of I was giving.
They gave us like a to-do list the day
Yeah.
of, and they're like, "Okay, can you guys get this all stuff done?" And then they call us in like, "Okay, we think we should just let you guys part ways from here." And we're like, "Okay," and they're like, "So how much did you complete from that list?" And I just gave them the list back. I was like, "Nothing."
Yeah.
And just like left.
Yeah. So,
Oh, wow, man!
But,
Talk about
mhm.
sticking together through thick and thin.
Oh yeah.
Oh
yeah.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful.
Business partners, coworkers, and now podcasters in a sense.
Host and co-host, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
So I have a question because I don't feel like this is very common. Like I love my sisters, but I don't think it's an easy thing to work with siblings all the time. If we already like as friends, there are sometimes that it's like, okay, we're having that conversation. What would you say is one of the key things to like being able to work with family?
I mean, I'd probably say like a lot of it is what we've already gone through. so we kind of know what kind of to expect from each other. So yeah, like Danny knows when it comes down to like doing the research and finding the parts that we need, I'm gonna shine there. And I know when it comes down to like me bringing a new guest and Danny like making the guest feel comfortable, bringing the best out of that person, he's gonna outshine everybody else there. So
Play your
it's
strengths.
just kind of playing your strengths and
Yeah.
helping each other out where we lacking.
And I guess kind of also leaving your attitude at the door. Like none of us, I think, really have like that. Like we're gonna do this, like whether you like it or not. You know, at least with me, I'm always like, whatever you want, like let's do it. You know, but if I think like, oh, like we should do this, like then I'll you know. But I won't overstep, and I don't think like we ever overstep each other. And I think it's just kind of knowing your role in a sense, like
Right.
knowing, you know, your strengths, knowing, okay, like I do very well in this. I do very well in this. Like, I'm not about to tell Joel, like, Joel, you need to do this. Like, I'll say, like, oh, dude, you should check this out. But I won't say, like, dude, you need to do this. Because it's like, I'll never say, like, Joel, these mics? No, dude, horrible or something like that.
Yeah.
Because, like, all right, then you pay for them. It's like, well, all right, well, like, no. So it's certain things like that where it's like, I can give him tips. I can give him, like, advice and certain things that I know of. But I won't go out and say things that I don't know of.
Right.
You know?
Right.
So
I think as you were saying about the whole alpha and beta, I think in other words and in a more beautiful sense, there's a lot of compromising.
yeah,
Right? There's a lot of compromising, and like you take over that. I know what I'm good at. I'll take over that.
Yeah.
And because we're clear on our goals, on our roles, we don't overstep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So
And I think, like, for me, at least for me, like, I've learned that me individually, I'm very easy to adapt to. Like,
You're flexible.
I'm very flexible in like that sense where it's like, if you feel like you have all this figured out and you just want me to do this, all right, I'll just do this. Like,
I'll just focus on
you know, I'll just focus on that. And then it's like, if you call me to do more stuff, okay, I'll do more stuff. So it's like, I'm very, like, I know to a certain extent I can be a leader, but I know at the very you know, the best leaders are better followers. Like, that's just like the best leader is an even better follower. That's all it is. So it's like, I know at times I can be a good leader. I can be a great leader in certain things. But I will never like allow that like leadership mentality to dictate like, okay, I'm only a leader. No, I can also be a follower. So things like that.
You know when to submit.
Yeah, exactly.
That's nice.
And there was a lot of stuff that he because in the beginning, like a lot of the stuff that for the equipment, I didn't even know anything about. Because I came in like completely like knowing nothing about podcasts or microphones or anything. So a lot of the stuff I did come in and I was like, Danny, what does an XLR cable mean? And I think the first time I even told him what's in the XLR cable.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't know what that is. Like, what is it? And he's like, oh, it's like the connection that goes from your whatever you're going to be getting your microphone to the recorder. And so there's a lot of stuff that Danny was like, okay, you know things about microphones, you know things about equipment. Like, let me pick your brain and then from there do some research and kind of figure out what I'm doing from there.
You have a lot of synergy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
Absolutely.
There you go.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Well, when we recorded an episode together, which was like a couple minutes ago, you guys mentioned you guys mentioned
3 episodes.
what is it? The ministry. No,
Lobbyman?
no, the other one. The
Wingman?
yes.
Banana?
Yes.
Nuclear banana?
No,
Or Wingman?
the wingman.
Wingman.
Oh,
Can we have a sneak peek?
Wingman
Of,
issue?
yeah, of what that is, or is that a secret that you want to launch?
Why?
Well,
why
we've-
that one?
That's the one that piqued my interest.
I got you.
Yeah, because I was like, of all the ones that they mentioned,
No.
catch that episode in a couple of weeks. But yeah, what is with?
Well, we did actually launch that sort of episode. It was actually listed under as AppleCon. What was it called?
I think it was like an interview with Danny and Alex
me and
about
Alex.
We'll put it on the
avocado.
description.
Yeah, so me and Alex are like the ones that like kind of came up with that one, because we went to AppleCon, National Apostolic Convention, and we were like that for other people, not for each other, but we were the wingmen in a sense. And pretty much what it was like, we're aware that most apostolics, being Christian, being raised in church, they're kind of shy. Like a lot of them are just kind of shy and they don't know how to like go out of their way and like talk to somebody. So what we do is we'll create that connection. We'll create that encounter where they talk to each other. And from there on, like, if they like each other, if they, want to keep talking, that's it.
Up to them,
That's,
but
that's
you made it easier.
We made that connection happen.
Made the connection.
Now, how would one obtain those services? Is
Yes.
there a form you got to fill out? Is there a fee?
There's about
Is there
there's a $500 fee.
nepotism?
There's a
There's a
$500
$500 fee.
Yeah.
Goodness.
But
Okay.
what's
Yeah.
$500 for true love?
Exactly.
For eternal love?
It's there's you can't put a price tag on that.
Got it.
Apparently you can, 500.
Well,
But it's worth it. It's worth it.
yeah. Well, and that was with the special actually that we had during.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was a
Coupon.
Yeah, that was a coupon.
Got
That
it.
was
yeah.
2022.
Yeah, it was-
also it depends.
Yeah,
Is
so
that what you're
sometimes
saying?
we'll run specials, sometimes we'll run things, I think for that one it was Gobble Gobble 23. That was the
Oh, it was
coupon
Gobble
code.
Gobble
Gobble
23.
I think that's
Yeah.
what the coupon code was.
So it already expired, that coupon.
Yeah, that one's already
Okay, I see,
expired.
I see,
So
I see.
I think it's I'd have to go back to check the Excel spreadsheets that we got, but it's like about $750 maybe. Right now.
What would you say the price depends on?
So it really depends on. I think for that event, it's easier because everybody's there.
Right.
It depends if it's somebody in your local church you're trying to talk to.
okay.
It depends if it's somebody from a not your local church. It's like, okay, how are we gonna make that encounter happen? So all those little things
start
kinda
to
play
add
into
up.
yeah, they
Start
start
to
to
add up.
the
Okay.
little fees.
So
start to kick in.
am I right in assuming that if it's a local church, it'll be less expensive?
One can assume that.
Okay.
One can assume that.
Alright.
But
work with
there's other things because it's like, okay, why are you not already talking like that? So it's like, we have to.
That
Oh,
it's
we
good.
got to make the
You gotta
connection
vet.
if
We
you
gotta
already
make-
haven't made it.
If you haven't
in the
already
church.
made it, or if they've already seen you, if you've already given yourself off as a specific type of way, if you've already given off that vibe, like, oh, I'm just this person,
So
and
you're gonna
now
make it
it's
hard.
like, so it's like, so
You're making
certain
it harder
history,
for them.
we need all the files we can get, all the.
What do you what would the client do if you're unsuccessful?
Do I get my
if
money?
we're
I mean,
unsuccessful-
does that person get their money back?
Yeah.
If we're so far we haven't been unsuccessful.
Oh.
I can firmly say we have been
Oh.
100% because our goal is literally to make person A meet person B and them to have that encounter. Whether that encounter works out or it doesn't, we don't. Yeah.
Y'all just do
You're
an
washing your hand
encounter.
and then you.
Okay. You
Y'all
gotta
just do an
listen.
encounter.
You
You
gotta
don't
listen.
you don't guarantee
gotta-
nothing.
Well,
Exactly.
think about it.
Hold
It's
on,
just
hold on.
wingman.
Exactly.
Hold on.
Kind of
Think
thing.
about
It's
it. Think
not
about
like
it.
You
It's
want us to hold
wingman.
your hands throughout
Wingman.
your
It's
whole-
not gonna take you down the aisle.
Yeah.
Yeah,
no.
it's no matchmaking.
Yeah.
Hey,
He'll
but-
give
but
you the
for
pep talk.
$500,
Hey, some people.
there
Put a
should be
price
some
tag on it.
guarantee.
Some people.
I
they
will
just don't
guarantee
have
your
this-
your encounter. I will
Oh,
guarantee
there
that.
you go.
If not, your money back. But here's the thing: you wouldn't hire us if you didn't have that issue.
That's true.
It is what it is.
That is
so
true.
That is
so
confidence, if anything.
it's true. It's true.
wow.
Man.
So you're that confident.
Oh, absolutely.
Oof.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's why.
Okay, I'm gonna have a challenge question. What if in the process, by the client using wingman industry, it looks bad on my part because I had to go through a third party to get the encounter?
It doesn't look bad on your part because it shows that you're willing to go to the farthest extent to reach that person. So it's like, if it's hard for you and it's like you've been trying your best, and it's like, wow, I'm just gonna use this. It's not a cop out. It's just, hey, I really want this to work out. So it's like, okay, we got you. We'll help
How
you.
long has this been going on? Just that one time?
It started
or-
national convention. That
Okay.
was
Have you
How
had-
many happy clients have you
We've had 2 clients. Again, our success is based on the encounter. Whether they continued on from that, that's
on
that's on them.
So out of the 2 clients you've had 100%.
100% success rate.
Got it. 2 clients.
Yep.
Just meet. For their meeting. Just for their meeting.
Just for their meeting, yeah.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah,
All
and
right.
and a lot of them, one of them was like a same day sort of thing. Like it was that day.
Oh,
like they had never seen them before. They had only saw them that day. And they're like, hey, can you make this happen? Because I heard about your other client. Can you make this happen? I'm like, you betcha. Let's go do this right now.
Oh,
And
okay.
Now,
so-
do you do recon? Or like what if it's like you said, a first love at first sight? Do you do recon for the other person? Like you find their
With
Instagram
plenty of
handle?
notice.
You know, I do. Or we do.
not
We do
predators.
recon. Yeah, no, we check certain things like that. You know, we kind of try to verify, but again, with such low like time that they give us, we only have so much to work with.
That is
Especially
true.
if they want it like in that moment. It's like,
Yeah.
hey, I can make it happen in that moment, but you gotta know this is what I'm working with. You know, so certain things.
I have a question for the female audience. Do you so you do both for females and,
Yeah.
and you know, both brothers and sisters? Okay. Is it different though when it's
Yeah, so-
for our sisters than it is for
because we
brothers?
believe obviously the brother should be the one kind of seeking
Right.
out. Now I will say the last two are only two successful ones were both sisters.
Oh.
So you know, you can see it's like what we end up doing is we end up through our talent and through our, you know, skill, we get the brother to come to you. For if you're the sister that's hiring us, we get the brother to come to you.
Okay,
And
I
you know,
see.
we end up creating that. And so yeah, both times that happened. Yeah.
Are you sold?
Okay. You know what? The just I guarantee the first encounter kind of is throwing me a little bit off.
At
I'm
least
gonna be
3,
honest.
you know?
But yes, like
Oh, you want
I
you want
mean,
more encounters?
That's extra.
Well, I mean, what so the thing is, after that first encounter, at least for the guy, so say the guy is, you know, it's always going to kind of be up to the guy. Well, it could be kind of up to the girl, but it's going to be up to the guy, like, hey, I want to see you again.
Right. Yeah.
So I think if you display that without having to say it, then I think, you know, obviously if there is a connection there that you didn't see before, that you wouldn't have known unless you had hired us, then at that point he'll be able to say, hey, I want to see you again.
But okay, you know why I'm having a hard time with the first encounter situation? Because to me it's like you said, you wouldn't be requiring these services if you didn't have an issue with
Absolutely.
with encounters, right? So what if these two people are they left to their own devices,
No.
or
So,
do you kind of
it's
guide
not-
them and
we guide
meeting
them.
each
We're
other?
there. We're talking
Okay,
with
okay.
them. We're making it friendly.
Okay.
The moment they, you know, we'll start slipping out one by one. letting-
Right.
It's like
You know, the moment-
icebreaker.
yeah.
They're there to
You know,
break the ice.
The moment
you
we
get
see
to the
their,
core.
the moment we see them having their own conversation, we know, okay, we're good. We're good to step out.
Yeah. Okay.
We'll let that ship ride.
That happened.
Perfect.
Yeah, we'll let
okay.
that happen. Yeah, no, we're not just gonna leave you like, hey, here's this guy, here's this girl. Go ahead, talk.
No,
we
no,
just
no. Yeah,
we're
'cause-
not like that. No.
Okay. Now, in that sense, I can see why you
Yeah.
would be like, okay, now after that, it's up to you.
You do
Yeah.
it.
You do it. Yeah, you take over.
Yeah, because we don't hold your hand like you know, like Joe said, we don't hold your hand to the aisle.
Yeah, no.
We're not
Do you
gonna-
have a cutoff? Like, let's say I'm a client and I've been unsuccessful for 5 times.
no
Different
we don't.
people.
We
They
don't.
also help you with the
Well,
people that you're gonna get.
yeah, we
They're not
we're
gonna
obviously-
if you're going for someone that
Is way out of your league.
is way
We'll
out
give you
of your
advice.
league.
We'll give you
We'll
advice.
give you
No, but here's the
advice.
thing. Here's the
Okay.
thing. I never actually do think I'm someone that doesn't believe there's someone that out of your league. You know, I think, you know, if you have that confidence and you believe that of yourself, then, you know, I've always said with myself, like, I have high expectations for myself. So it's like, all right, well then one of two things have to happen. Either I have to elevate my expectations or I have to lower my standards. Like, what am I going to do? Because I have to meet that. So I have to elevate I have to elevate my standards myself to get to where I want to be.
Because you're not willing to lower.
Because
Your
I'm not
standard.
willing to lower my standards.
Got it.
So we have to see what kind of client we're encountering. You know, if it's someone with low expectations, and it's like, all right, well, you know, what you want is what you're going to get. You know, what you expect is what you're going to get. But if they're expecting the sun and the moon, you know, they're expecting everything. It's like, okay, well, tell me why you think you're expecting that. You know, let's dive into this. You know, why do you think you deserve that? So it's certain things like that. But you know, we'll work with them. We'll definitely work with them.
Well, I hope you launch it soon. And
Oh, we've already launched.
They've
I
already
mean,
launched.
you already did. That is true. That is true.
You're hoping that a discount comes like maybe
along,
4th of July or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
You
End
know?
of the year.
Let's see what's coming up next. Any special services?
There's a
'Cause
there's a
happens,
lot
you know.
of special
So
services coming
access
up.
services, you know,
Right.
we've got, you know, a lot of things.
For my ladies and gents who watch our episodes
Please.
and you want to see Wingman
Industry.
Industries live or you are in need of these services, please contact Danny Darko.
Yes.
And
Skipper.
Skipper's
And
the other
Skipper,
exec.
right.
Skipper. Mm-hmm.
I'm not. See, this segment is all them. I'm letting them spearhead that entire thing.
I want to
Yeah.
get to know you.
Huh? You already got to know me.
For $500, we can make that happen.
We can make that one encounter happen.
One encounter.
I pay.
Well,
Yeah.
we want to start closing it off. And,
Yes.
we want to thank you guys for showing up on our podcast. If you haven't catched out or caught UNFC, where can they find you?
At UNFC on YouTube and on Instagram, it's _UNFC_. Check us out. Go follow us on Instagram. Subscribe to us on YouTube.
That bell notification.
Hit that bell notification.
Everything.
And if you're just watching this, subscribe to this channel too.
Yes, please do.
Put a comment.
Put a comment.
We're going to hit 100 subscribers, hopefully, before we hit our first year.
Oh, yeah.
Hopefully, which is what, in 2 weeks?
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
no.
just 5 subscribers, right?
No.
You're 75?
We're
Oh,
75.
no, 25.
25.
25.
Yeah.
25? Okay.
25 subscribers is all we need.
I can make those accounts.
We'll get there. We'll get there.
We'll
there.
get there. I'll make some.
Yeah, we'll make them. Alrighty, guys.
I think so too.
We'll see you guys
Bye,
next
guys.
time.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.